yeah, we saw that change 1947 onward.
You cover some of these problems in your books.
Yeah.
But how frustrating is it for you, and how infuriating is it as a man who's a veteran, who's served, who's been deployed overseas, who's been in these conflicts, to see this happening and to see no accountability and to see these poor choices being made over and over again that put veterans' lives at risk, put our lives at risk, and put the entire world in this state right now where we're genuinely concerned about nuclear war, which we haven't been since the 80s.
Right.
The fall of the Soviet Union was this great moment in history where we're like, oh, Jesus, we're done.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, the Soviet Union is now Russia. It's like they have elected leaders. Everything's going to be great. And
Yeah, no, it's tough because you lose friends over there. People lose arms, legs, in wheelchairs. They sacrifice so much, and they're trusting those senior level leaders to make good decisions, politicians and military leaders. And then they see what happens over there, and so it's very natural to ask that question: Was it all worth it? What were we doing over there for all these years, for 20 years?
Yeah.
So it's very natural to ask that question. And for my own sanity, I just go back to taking those lessons learned and applying them going forward in a way that honors the sacrifice of those who did lose their lives, who didn't come home, or who came home changed forever because of post-traumatic stress or traumatic brain injury, missing arms and legs. And my hope, and I hate to say hope, is that we can take those lessons and apply them to the next generation so they don't have to learn those same lessons in blood. But I guess I'm not hopeful because we have shown time and time again that we have a very difficult time doing that for some reason, and I don't know why that is, but it's extremely disheartening. And it also sets up that next generation for failure because you have these people coming up the ranks, and they see these generals sit in front of Congress, say certain things. You can go back to every single testimony from these guys, and they all say pretty much the same thing: we're making progress. We just need more money. We need more time.
And privately, what were they saying?
They were saying that this is a disaster. Yeah. And you can go back and look at these. Then Greg Whitlock spells it all out. He has the transcripts in there. And there's one, and I forget who it is right now, an exact time, but it's around the 2009, 2010 timeframe where there's one senior level official who's in charge of Afghanistan. He doesn't even say anything bad. He's just kind of like, it's not going as great as we may have led you to believe. And then a few months later, he has quietly moved aside and somebody else is put in. So that tells everybody else coming up behind them that, hey, if they want to get this next star and they want to sit on the board of company X, Y, or Z, they better toe this line. And it's an industry.
Is that an issue where the amount of money that's involved in it now because of the military-industrial complex is almost, it's like you can't turn that back now because you've turned on that spigot, the amount of money is continuing to flow. These coffers are filling. These people are making so much money. To stop it now and to hold people accountable and to try to put an end to this chain of failure.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a huge bureaucracy. It's an ecosystem that includes politicians. It includes military leaders, both in uniform and just out sitting on these boards, lobbyists, permanent Washington. It's all a part of this huge infrastructure that is moving forward. And just like any company, you got to show profits.
It's just crazy that, less than 100 years ago, Eisenhower warned us about